I have a great story to share with you this morning about my badass wife, Krista. And it is a story that is going to show you the power of selling your way through life. We need to be teaching our children how to sell their way through life. We need to be an example of how to sell your way through life. You're a businessman, you're an entrepreneur, you're a father, you're a husband. You need to be setting the tone for selling your way through life. Michael McLean, BadAssBrotherhood.com, the toughest advice for the toughest business men. Krista, my wife Krista and I have been enjoying a husband-wife, what I call king and queen, 6-day vacation. Our daughter Emery is at her first overnight camp, so we are 4.5. We're about 4.5 hours, not 4.5, 3.5 hours north of the city of Toronto, in the province of Ontario, and in the Muskokas. We're up here near Georgian Bay, and this is one of the nicest places we have ever vacationed at in terms of peace and solitude, an opportunity to swim, to golf. We actually are going ATVing with the four-wheelers. Anything you want to do in peace and solitude, I highly recommend the Deerhurst Lodge where we're staying. And I also recommend the community of Huntsville. It's a small community just north of Toronto. That's where we are right now. And it's just raining a little bit right now. My story that I want to share with you is the power of never ever taking no for an answer, and the power of showing an example to your children, your employees, your grandkids, that they need to sell them. They need to sell themselves through life. If you don't have sales skills, which 99% of people don't have anymore, it's a profession that's almost looked down upon. It's like, ooh, sales. I don't want to sell. And it's the highest paid profession on earth. It's the highest paid profession on earth. Whatever the niche is, whatever the industry is, show me the top salesperson, and I'll show you the top paid person in sales. And you can use examples on the global level. Elon Musk, top salesman. He's a P.T. Barnum of our time. Donald Trump, salesman. Grant Cardone, salesman. Even the great coaches, the Bill Belichick's, the Nick Saban. They have the best players getting off the bus for each game. Why is that? Salesmen, recruiters, incredible, outstanding salespeople. So teaching our children and honing our own skills in terms of selling are so critical. But I was reminded of this when we arrived here in Huntsville on Saturday. My wife, Krista, had booked us this room, one-bedroom room at the Deerhurst Lodge, which is a famous place to come. It had great reviews. We're going to be staying here for 6 days. As soon as we arrived, I knew I was going to get to see an example of never taking no for an answer. I get a lot of credit for being a top 1% salesperson, which I've been selling since I was 10 years old. Selling pots and pans, lemonade stands, garage sales at the end of the driveway, selling my mom's kitchen utilities, window washing. I've been selling since I was 10 years old. And so I pride myself on being a salesman. I'm a proud and unabashed salesman. And at the end of the day, my wife, Krista, is an incredible, incredible saleswoman. And a lot of people don't know this because they're like, I'm the front person, right, in our company. But the person really doing the selling behind the scenes is my wife, Krista. When I do masterminds in Chicago or in Orlando or in Toronto or wherever we do them, my wife is the person behind the scenes dealing with the hotels, negotiating with the restaurants, negotiating with the professional speakers, all this stuff. And I mean, that's a tough industry with tough competitors. So my wife is a pit bull salesperson, absolute pit bull, relentless salesperson. And they never see her coming because she comes across as such a nice, respectful person, which she is. But at the end of the day, she is a total cleaner salesperson. Like, she just refuses to take no for an answer, and she is the epitome of relentlessness. So a good example, the story I'll tell you is we arrive at our hotel room, beautiful resort on Saturday, and it's not up to my wife's standards. In other words, she's like, I asked for a view of the lake and the pool. Like, we're up here up north because we want to be outside. We're nature people, we're readers. We want to be up, we want to be, we want to be sitting out on our deck. We want to be reading, writing. We want to be doing all those things. So right off the bat, Krista notices that we have a view of the parking lot. We literally sit on our balcony and we see a view of the parking lot. So right from that second on, it's on, right? So, we look over the contract that we signed for the 6 days, typical hotel stuff. And it's non-refundable because my wife is like, we're not staying here for 6 days. I want a place where I'm looking over the lakes, looking over the mountains, looking into the forest. I'm not going to sit here for 6 days and leave Audie Lake, our beautiful lake home, and look at a parking lot with 100 cars in it. So what does she do? She goes right to work in badass millionaire style. She, first of all, she calls up the person at the front desk where we're staying, and she says, we're not happy with our view. We were promised a view of the pool, the mountains, and the lake, and we're looking at a parking lot. Can we move? She's excellent to work with, and always professional, and always polite. And of course, the person kicks that one up to the manager, right? Well, the place is sold out, and it is sold out. I mean, this is vacation time here in Huntsville. So Krista, not taking no for an answer, not even close, is never deterred, never. She goes, may I speak to a manager? So a lesson for all of us businessmen is my wife never does the email thing. She never does the texting thing. She goes and sees these people in person after she calls. If the phone doesn't work when she calls the front desk and the phone doesn't work with the manager, she literally goes down to the lobby and has a meeting with the manager. So she talks to the manager. She sends them things. She says, listen, we're not unhappy to be here. We're going to be repeat customers. We just want a room with a better view. That's it. That's all. We're not looking for a refund. We're not looking anything like that. So the guy's like, he says, well, the policy is there's no refunds. There's no refunds, and there's no rooms open. It's completely sold out. So take it or leave it. You have to stay here for the 6 days, and you're going to have to stare at the parking lot, essentially, right? So this is the email she got back. So then what does my wife do? She puts on her shoes, and she goes down, and she goes and sees this guy face to face, one-on-one. I'm like, do you want me to go see him? She's like, no, I'll go see him. And it's the old story. Like, she goes down there. I know the guy doesn't have a chance, right? He doesn't have a hope in hell when she goes down to see him. And she does it in this way that, like I said earlier, it's so polite. So she goes down, and I don't know, maybe 10 minutes later, she walks back in our hotel room, and she goes, that's done. We got a 100% refund, from a hotel that doesn't give refunds. And she said, we can now move to a place outside of the complex. We're not staying there any longer, because in the meantime, she had researched bed and breakfast places. This is where we are now in Huntsville. And she found this place, which is massive. It's like, my God, you got a bearskin rug in here. You got the beautiful fireplace for if it's raining out or if it's cool. We have our own private beach. So we're here with two other families, and we never see them. But look, we got our own beach. So we went from a resort where there was hundreds of people to our own dock, beautiful dock that I'm down on every day. You've got a fire pit. You've got you got a beautiful beach. You've got all this nature around you, and we're 5 minutes from all the beautiful restaurants that we go to every night. So she had this place in her back pocket, and the guy's like, well, we can't move, and she's like, we just need our money back. So she gets us a full refund from the hotel, which never gives refunds. And we pack up our stuff in like 10 minutes because we never really unpacked. And we drive another 5 minutes. It's on the same road. And ever since Saturday, when we arrived, we've been living in this gorgeous, gorgeous bed and breakfast. It's just phenomenal here. Like, it's peaceful, it's quiet. We got this big, big deck, this big badass deck here. But most importantly, we have this beach and we have solitude and we can do our thing. Krista can do her yoga out here. She can do her meditation. She can do her reading. So it was just an example, a story of how you need to sell yourself through life. And if you don't sell yourself through life, if you don't get the skills to become good at, that's the thing, not only to sell your way through life, but to get good at selling and embrace it. I've been working with my daughter who's 9 years old. I've been working with her in terms of skills, sales skills, asking for things. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. These types of things. She's had lemonade stands since she was 4 years old, and I make her do the heavy lifting. I make her do the asking. And every time she asks me for something, I do the opposite of most other fathers. I'm like, great question. Keep asking. And I'll say no all the time. I'm the king of no, right? No. Can I have a dessert? No. Can I watch TV? No. Can I watch a movie? No. That's okay. But I always congratulate her for asking. And then I always say, if you don't ask, the answer is what? And she says no. So it's ingrained into her salesmanship, salesperson, whatever you want to say. It's ingrained to her as part of life, is if you don't speak up, you end up with the crumbs in life. Well, it's the same for us as businessmen. If my wife doesn't sell that manager, and that's what she did. She sold him on doing something against their rules, the code or whatever it is, and she gives us a 100% refund, the guy. And my wife sold him on how that was a great decision. And you should have heard, she talked to him in his language. She was like, listen, we're going to be repeat customers. We're going to be back. Our kid's going to be going to this camp every year. We have lots of people that are lots of friends and family that would like to come here. So she's just constantly talking in his language. And what does she end up with? The guy likes her. She ends up with a 100% refund. And then we get to spend the time here. And she even did a bit of selling in terms of this bed and breakfast, because there's no places to stay here. It is jam-packed this type of year. I mean, for the 3 months, June, July, and August, north of Toronto up here in Huntsville, it's just jam-packed. So she did a selling job on them holding this place. She had them hold this room for us for hours and hours until we were sure we got a refund. And soon as we got that refund, Krista was like, boom. She's like, pack it up, let's go. And we've been here ever since. But I was like, oh, we're going to lose that room. We could lose that room. And she's like, don't worry about it. I already talked to them. And it's all on the phone. None of this texting, none of this chicken shit email, none of that stuff. In person or on the phone. But it's made our vacation. We're here for 6 days. And if it wasn't for her selling her way through life, we'd be staring at 100 cars. And we'd be listening to cars, fire up at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, people coming and going, like you're literally over the front entrance. So it's so critical. And I talk about it in my new book, How to Not Get Your Ass Kicked in Business and in Life. You'll get your ass good and kicked in business and in life if you take no for an answer. When people start, the question is, when somebody says no to you, and we live in a no society, by the way, does this car come in black? No. Does this truck come in blue? No. Can we get that table over on the patio by the lake? No. It's just no, because everybody wants to do nothing, right? No. No. So in a world of no, where we're, the sloth and the laziness and the path of least resistance, I believe it's never been more important for us to be like, keep going. Like, no is just the start. No is just the start. And I learned that from the great Zig Ziglar when he said, I can hear the word yes 10 miles away whispered to me, but a person can yell no in his ear and he's like, that just means not now. And that's the mentality, is no doesn't mean no. No means, okay, let's keep going here. Let's keep selling. Let's keep selling. Or do you settle? Do you settle for the hotel room you don't like? Do you settle for the table you don't like? Do you settle for the service you don't like? Like, it's so ingrained in my wife now and in myself and now in my daughter, is instead of accepting the crumbs in life you get from, it could be lousy service, it could be, a lousy salesperson. It's just, how quickly do you take no as an answer? Does it stop right there? Do you accept the crumbs? Or do you say, no, I don't accept no? And that's one of the key successes with any of these badass millionaires. You think a guy like Elon Musk even knows what the word no is? You think a guy like Tim Grover working with Jordan and working with Kobe, you think those guys ever knew what the word no was? You can't do something, or that's not the way we do things. Those guys were bulldozers. They're just waiting for the yes, selling their way through life. It is so important that we teach our children, our teenagers, our adult children. Like, that drives me crazy. Any chance I get to say I'm a proud salesman, people ask me all the time, they're like, Michael, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm a fucking salesman, and a damn good one. I get up every day and I kill my lunch. And they just stand there, right? They just stand there like I'm talking to some zombie. I mean, I've signed my own paycheck since I was like 14 years old. I get up every day and I feed my family. I get up every day and I earn it. I get up every day and I kill it. And it just drives me crazy in today's world, where it's like, oh, people look down on the car salesman, or they look down on the ticket salesman, or they look down on the anybody that's a salesperson, and it just drives me crazy. And I want my daughter to have that exact opposite mindset. It's just, whatever job she gets when she starts, at the age of working in different places, I want them all to be sales related. I want her working the cash at Subway. I want her working, the cash at Walmart. Any of these jobs where she has to ask. So this has just been amazing, and we're staying in an amazing place, and it's literally like a condo here because of the fact my wife wouldn't take no for an answer. So that's my question to you today. How easy are you? How often do you just take no as the final answer? Or do you have more grit, more relentlessness? Do you stay after it until you achieve what you want to achieve? How relentless, really? I know I say be relentless. This is being relentless right here. This is being relentless. Guys, I have my brand new, as you know, paper and ink newsletter, and it is coming out on in August. And if you have a copy of my brand new book, nobullbook.com, this newsletter every month, paper and ink newsletter, it basically just takes you, okay, I'm going to help you build a world you don't need to escape from. I'm going to help you build a world you don't need to vacation from unless you want to. So living life on your own terms, some guys talk about that. I'm going to teach you what I've done and what I continue to do. I've done for 19 years. I'm here on my own terms. I'm not, the only thing I've done all week here, besides, time with Krista, is these videos. That's it, that's all. That's all. And the rest of the time, I'm just here in my own world, doing my own thing with my wife, enjoying time here. So if you want to learn how to build your own world, a world where you don't have to escape from, then go to badassletter.com and sign up. It's pocket change for a badass millionaire, 97 bucks a month. I got some really, really nice free bonuses, including these black shirts. But you got to sign up because I'm going to put a deadline on this when I get home, because the first edition of my world building newsletter is coming out August the 1st. So if you want to learn how to do it, how to take it to the next level, how to build your own world, there's no better vehicle than my brand new newsletter, none whatsoever. And it's a 12-page newsletter that I write every single month and FedEx to your door. So that's it. Stop taking no as the final answer. Stop taking no as the be all and end all. Stop taking no as the gospel. Oh, well, he said no. And start conditioning yourself and your children and your secret weapon that the quality of your life will come down to the quality of the questions, like Tony Robbins says. The quality of our life comes down to the quality of the questions we ask ourselves. How can I make this work? What can I learn from this? You know, that attitude. But also one of the most powerful questions you can ever ask yourself is, how can I make this work? How can this not be a solid no? How can I make this work? And that's what my wife did here at this amazing resort we're at right now. So that's it for today. Two words that change my life, and 2 words that can change your life if you stop taking the word no for an answer. Michael McLean, BadAssLetter.com. 2 words: be relentless.